are a sad, strange little man. And have my pity. Farewell.
Every writer and every artist, no matter what age, a veteran of the comic book industry for 30 years, of a writer, of an artist, and this sucks.
Tonight's episode, Theater of Fear.
Don't start! We haven't left yet!
Hey everybody, welcome. It is Aaron Live. It's January 15th, 2023. Shelley is around here someplace, but I couldn't wait for her. She's going to be, she'll roll in here eventually. So I'm looking at our epically low viewing numbers right now, which leads me to believe that maybe EVS is live streaming against me again and destroying my audience. Thank you, Ethan. Anyway, but we got to do it. The show must go on, whether you want to watch it or not. Here I am. Hey, let's take a quick look in the chat. Nothing's ever quick about our chat, but Leg Kick was the first one in the house. And it's good to see because Leg Kick is here because he's almost always here. And Leg Kick, for being first one in the house, you get absolutely nothing. But thank you so much for joining. Stippling Vaughn is here. He says, art contest. Did I hear an art contest has started? Indeed, there has. Thanks for bringing that up. Let's take a quick look at this, because I'm surprised I'm not getting the entries that I figured I might. And I think maybe because people aren't really aware of it. But what we've done on the Wraith of God Blood Hunters campaign page, there's a link in the description of this video that you can press on that link. It'll take you right there. But you can, if you go there, you will see something very similar to this. Now, if you scroll down little bit here. Oops. How about in the middle? Look at the story. And then art contest begins. There it is. The much anticipated Wraith of God Blood Hunters art contest begins right now. Anyone who is not a working full-time artist can enter. Okay. So if you have a day job, but you're still working as an artist, that counts. But if you're like full-timer, like say me or Jim Lee could not enter, but if you would consider yourself part-time professional or even amateur, you're welcome to enter. The winner will be chosen exclusively by me and Shelley Showtime. The winning artist will receive $250. That's not bad. And the rights, and you will give me the rights to publish one time your work, either in the comic or as a trading card, or maybe a limited edition print. I haven't really sure exactly how I'm going to use it, but I'll use it on something in the campaign. Subject matter should be restricted to characters or creatures from the Empire Comics universe. That's Wraith of God, Esther, Garbage Man, Nightclub, Kid Carter, etc. Merv the Astro Chimp, anybody that fits in there. Format the art to fit in a comic, usually around 10 by 15 is the original size, but you can, any size that reduces to 6.5 by 10.25 roughly will work. Of course, if I use it as a trading card, there would be some trimming involved, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Traditional and digital forms are both acceptable. Email your finished email your finished piece to us at aaron@aaronlopresti.com. Don't send me a mega file. Send me, a reduced size one, because I don't want my mailbox to be like filled up and can't accept mail because I've got so many attachments on there that are big files. I mean, I have to be clear enough that I can see the art, but it doesn't have to be a high res. High res is for printing. This is just for me to be able to see it through email. So don't send it to me too big. is kind of what I'm saying. And feel free to post your art on social media as much as you like. The contest will run through the end of February 2023. So there's still plenty of time. There's like, 6-7 weeks left. Give you guys plenty of time to draw. But so just keep your eyes on it. And the winner will be announced on our YouTube show, Aaron Live. That's what this show right here. So good luck and have at it. So there it is. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. So anyway, I just want to make sure that all you artists out there are aware of this fact. Also, look at that. We're at 1975 backers. Let's get to 2000. That should be a goal by the next 5 minutes. So yeah, if you haven't backed, jump in there and back this thing. It's going to be a great book. It's 100 pages for $25. You got 4 cover options. Bisley, me. Did I say me and Bisley? So you have, options, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss out on this one. We also have the second printing campaign of the original Wraith of God graphic novel coming up soon, as soon as I finish the cover. I'm so busy working on pages for this that it's kind of hard to set aside a few minutes to do the cover, but I am going to do it very soon. So anyway, there you go. So that is that. That's your advertisement for the day. Let's see here. Mike McMahon is here. He's a big fan of Aaron Lopresti and Shelley Showtime Sundays. Where's Shelley? I know she's downstairs, but she said she would come up. So Mark Pengrin is Kelsey Shannon, the Bigfoot in question here. Kelsey Shannon is always the Bigfoot in question. Snacks, Wraith of God church wafers. I wonder how that would go over. Snacks, Chino Cheerios. That's both. Hank is throwing out some suggestions there. Bill Maxwell is here. Create a fail illustration. Not first, but hi, Aaron and Aaron's wife. The crocodile picture is adorable. Isn't it cute? My wife probably wouldn't think so. Let's see. Welcome, Mike says, to the best show on Sundays. Thank you so much. American Comics Company is here. Randy Howell all the way from Canada says, interesting thumbnail. Is Empire Comics an imprint of Cold Crocodile Press? It is indeed. Cold Crocodile Press is actually my company. Empire Comics is simply a label I'm using to print the comics under. But really, when you get down to it for tax purposes, it is Cold Crocodile Press. So all my books that are not comic related, like my hardcover sketchbook that I did a couple of years ago that recently sold out in the last campaign, that was Cold Crocodile Press. So there you go. That's how we explain it around here. Marcus Killigrew, very happy that the Giants won. That was a road win for the Giants, a little unexpected. Although, does anybody ever really trust the Vikings? But still, I don't think anybody was necessarily trusting Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Giants, to come through, especially on the road, and he did. So congrats to the Giants. A lot of upsets, or is it upsets, or should I say surprising finishes in the playoffs? And there always is, so that's kind of fun. Let's see here. Stippling Vaughn saying EVS probably has provided a link for Aaron to be on his show. He probably has. He streamed today. He streamed at like 2 a.m. last night when I was doing a late night live stream. He comes on at 2 a.m. and stole half my audience. And then he streamed this morning. So I thought, okay, well, he's done for the day. I don't know. Is he streaming right now? Maybe he is. H is for Heretics says, as Ed Sullivan used to say, have a really big show. Got to catch the replay. Wildcard game, of course. Give you all a like and share. I appreciate that. I have the wildcard game on over here, but it's on mute. So, yeah, at least ask those 800 people just to come over and hit the like button, and then they can leave again. I don't know why you are somehow obsessing with this idea that I celebrate my birthday continually. I have celebrated my birthday once. Okay. Now, we did go out for dinner on Friday, but the kids weren't even in town when I had my birthday. So it was like a belated birthday dinner, but it wasn't like we didn't have cake and people didn't come and sing me happy birthday or anything. So I think you need to get off this kick. And I know just the way to knock it out of your system. There you go. I think I don't know if you feel better, but I do. Citizen Ronan is here. Geek Avenger is here. Geek wanted me to sort of address a little artistic question, which I'm going to try to do at the tail end of the show. We'll get to that later. Brian Suddenly Old is here. David G. Martin, Gary Martin Ink Art is here. Hey, AA Ron, he's piling on using the David Brohawk lingo. Thanks, Gary, for joining us. American, okay, One Slick Dude is here. Hail, Aaron. Hey, Ashley McCraner. Her son is a Bigfoot apologist. He may be watching to see our new Bigfoot videos today. David Brohawks here. Did you finish your Batman piece? I finished the penciling. Yeah, I'm not inking it. So yes, I did. I'll show that in a little bit. That dude, man, he lives on stream. Okay. So Brohawk's here, Gary Martin's here, Marcus Killigrews here, Citizen Ronan is here. Squeaky says, I'll be entering if I can think of something good. You got time? You got time. She's talking about the art contest, of course. And let's see here. There's a lot of conversation going on. Paul Brillard is here. Happy Sunday broadcast. Thank you, Paul. He is our resident engineer. There it is. She is reaffirming that her son, the Bigfoot apologist, is in the audience waiting for more Bigfoot exciting videos. And boy, do we have them today. Mike says, I'd rather be here than on any other channel. Thank you, Mike. That makes two of us, I guess you and me. Christina Lina's here. Of course, Christina is a freelance proofreader and editor. She worked on Wraith of God and will be working on Wraith of God Blood Hunters and has already edited one of my cards for me. So, okay. Ray Haylock, Tugs Web Guy, Neon Todd Studio, all here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I know you have other viewing options, but none of them are as wholesome and clean as this show. And nobody has as many videos as we do. And because of that, I would like to extend an invitation to you to do this. Frankenstein agrees with me. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications button. Let's do this. I want to get to 3,000 subs so I can tell everybody that I got 3,000 subs. You can help me do that. Another thing we like to do on the show is eat.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
I didn't go hog wild. I just stole, this sounds terrible. I just stole this chocolate from my 91-year-old mother. I'm pretty sure she saw me take it, but she was watching the Lifetime channel romance stuff, so she may not have seen me. So it could actually be thievery. These are Dove, and they're really good. And this is like a chocolate mint. Look at the little swirly mint in there to go with the chocolate. They say you're not supposed to eat on camera because it's really disgusting, but I'm doing it anyway. Join me, if you will. Share the delicious goodness of whatever you might be shoving your pie hole right now. I know. I'm a horrible person. We know you had your choice of streams, but thank you for flying Cold Crocodile Airlines. It's not really the most reassuring name for an airline, is it? Crocodile Airlines. I like it though. You're a big old croc, on the side of the plane. Look, or you know what? You paint it so it looks like this giant croc is like eating half the plane. That'd be pretty cool. I'd fly it. Okay. I got a lot of can I use the word ancillary? Is that okay? Can I use that? Things to show you guys. Now, a couple of things I want you to be aware of that we are in stock with right now, okay, is these beanies and these low Empire Comics logo caps. Now, full disclosure, haven't sold as many as we need to of these. But think of the collectability 20 years from now when I'm dead, that I might still be alive in 20 years. Maybe. To have one of these as a collector's item go, this guy was a rebel. He was an old rebel, but he was a rebel. And he went against the system. And he created Wraith of God. And I got his hat to prove it. I'm just saying. So anyway, these are available right now. I guess that's my point. They're in stock, available right now. You order, I ship them. That's how it works. Now, I had to... This is sort of like... You can file this under, do we really care about this? But... I had boxes that I ordered for these, but I didn't realize that the hats, I thought they might collapse, but these don't. They're pretty firm up here. And that's because now that I think about it, I have a stitched on logo cap, right? Or you have a stitched on logo on the cap. And so this is pretty firm up here, right? So I didn't want these hats to get mooshed. So I bought these bigger boxes. Right? Look at that. So the hat goes right in there. And then we seal it up. So you order a cap, you're going to get a big old box like this with your hat in it. I just think that may be overkill, but it's me protecting your product. It's customer service, baby. That's what I'm about. So anyway, those are the new boxes. Pretty exciting, I know. Christina Lynn says Lindor milk chocolate with white chocolate center is good. I'm not, you know what, Christina? I'm not a big Lindor fan. I don't mind it, but their chocolate's kind of mild to me. I want a chocolate with a little more robust chocolatiness in it. But I hear you. Hank says Dove chocolate. My wife loves that stuff. Must be a thing wives just naturally love, or moms. Because my mom, just like I said, she orders bags of that stuff. And then, of course, I go in there and steal it. And I keep saying, Mom, quit ordering this candy. It's her fault that I'm not in the shape I used to be. Paul Ogg for $4.99. Thank you, Paul. I greatly appreciate that. You were up late last night. Did your mom, who you live with, know what you were doing? My mom lives with me. I do not live with my mother. Okay, let's get that straight. She does say, you're up pretty late last night. I'm like, geez. So anyway, and I was. Wait a minute. See, but now Christian Lynn's backing off and saying Lindor white chocolate and peppermint is weird, though. I think it is. I'm not a white chocolate. Come on now. What are you trying to say? I just don't like it. No, wait a minute here. See, now this whole Lindt thing. You see what you started, Christina? The Lindt Intense chocolate. Oh, is it the Lindt Intense orange chocolate bar is worth the $5? He says, I've never had one. Now I must. Lindt Intense orange chocolate bar is worth the $5. Okay, Intense orange chocolate. All right. There you go, John Smith. If you're watching, Colin wants a hat. And he deserves a hat. Any Bigfoot simp should wear an Empire Comics hat. Well, we know Colin. Colin, he loves his Bigfoot. Semantics, yeah, true. Tarks 9, all the way from Canada. Thank you for dropping in and joining us. I know that's a long drive, and I appreciate it. Okay, well, let's get this show on the road. I hear Shelley. Okay, here's the thing. We have a professional organizer that is helping us get our stuff in order. She's a friend of the family. It's not just we hired somebody. She offered her services. And so she came over and they're working on organization. And the studio is going to be completely redone and put together in a way that is more efficient for me to work in. And so I don't know exactly when it's all going to be done because there's a lot of stuff I have to clean up and stuff that has to be moved and things like that. But things are getting worked on downstairs. They did the mailing room, which is, my gosh, what a godsend. And just all the product and the shipping boxes and the cutting board and stuff like that are all down there in this room. And it's so easy now to fulfill for you. So anyway, that's what's going on downstairs. So I know Shelley's going to make her way up here. So just be patient. And I want crocodile covered in icicles on a beanie. Cold crocodile. Oh, I get it. I do have a cold crocodile logo, by the way, that I made 20 years ago, and I still love it. So I still use it. It's an alligator with an egret standing on his nose, or it's a crocodile, excuse me, with an egret standing on its nose with a painting palette dripping paint on the nose of the crocodile. I really like it. So. Geek says we cleaned out Squeaky's old. I thought it said old farts. We cleaned out Squeaky's old art flats after digitizing what she wanted to keep. All right, okay. Woo! Okay. I'm going to go through the stuff that bores Shelley, so that when she gets up here, it'll be just stuff that is of interest to her. So let's first of all, although she does like this, let's take a look at the Wrightson image of the day, shall we? I had another piece of chocolate. The interesting thing about that pinup by Wrightson, Wrightson's not a superhero guy. In fact, he said the only superhero he actually kind of liked was Batman because he didn't have any superpowers, so he could kind of relate to him better, I guess, or something artistically. So to get him to do a Superman pinup was an interesting request that you would go to Wrightson. But instead of doing a typical Superman pinup, what does he do? He does this intense close-up of him breaking through a wall, which is really clever and something you wouldn't expect to see very often. And so I find it to be a very successful and interesting piece that old Bernie did with subject matter that he probably wasn't all that keen on. And he turned it into something really sort of interesting to look at. And that's why we love Bernie Wrightson. He's always doing interesting things to look at. Now, the other interesting things that I like to look at are comic books. Now, I've started a new segment on this show where I share some of my collection, right? It's kind of fun for me. And I'm going to do that today, but there's a little bit of a twist on it. I bought a few comic books recently. Maybe feeling a little birthday vibe, and see, Past Master Dan's going to jump all over this, but maybe feeling a little bit of a birthday vibe and thinking, I'm going to buy myself a couple comics. And so I had some show up, and I did unboxing videos. So if you haven't, seen those, spoiler alert. But we're going to take a look at those. But then one special gift. See, my son and my daughter-in-law, they were out of town on my birthday. So this box showed up. They said, don't open it. So we went out to dinner on Friday night when they got back in town, and I got to open the box. And there was a comic inside. And I'm going to share that comic last because it ties in with a previous experience that I had that maybe you guys will be able to relate to. Randy Hall says Superman's a home wrecker. That's terrible. Squeaky, he made Superman look kind of creepy. Well, that's Wrightson. That's the Wrightson touch. Geek Avenger, Superman, don't fly angry. GJ Martinez. I haven't seen a lot of GJ recently, but I appreciate you jumping back in, GJ. I know you're a big supporter of the show and Wraith of God, and I greatly appreciate you and your presence here. Luke Korlitz, holler if you hear me. I do. Okay. All right. I thought that was Jim Lee. Oh, of course, he's talking about the Wrightson Superman. Okay, Gretchen Ayers is here as well. All right. I don't know what Shelley's doing, but she should be up any minute. Was that passive aggressive to do something like that? I think it is. Let's do this because this is surely would put Shelley to sleep. That's kind of a short intro, isn't it? It feels like it needs to be longer. All right, I'm going to switch cameras because the high-res Razor Caillou gives you a clearer picture, and you can see what I bought. You can see that. Okay, there's a little blister in here. There's a drawing under here. I'll show you that in a few minutes, but let's take a look. Now I grabbed this. Let's see. I grabbed this right around my birthday, I think. I got this for $20. And this is a near mint copy of Phantom Stranger number 40. It has a great Jim Aparo cover. It features Deadman. Now I remember this as a kid, seeing this on the newsstands. I was not a DC guy. I did not buy DC books at all. But when I saw the Spectre or Deadman on the cover of a book, it usually grabbed my attention. Now, I don't know why I didn't buy this. I picked it up and thumbed through it, I'm sure. Maybe I didn't like the art inside because Aparo didn't do the art inside. But here's the thing. If I had bought it when it came out, I'd probably still have it, and I would have spent 25 cents on it. Instead, I bought this now and spent $20 on it. So it doesn't seem like that's smart shopping on my part. But anyway, as you can see, it's a pretty darn cool cover. And that is why I grabbed it. Because as my collection gets bigger and I find that I have just about everything that I wanted that I can afford, there's plenty that I want that I can't afford. But the stuff I find that I you have to start looking for new things to collect. And sometimes it's, that cool Dead Man cover when I was a kid. I want to get that. So there you go. Now I got it. Next, I did an unboxing video of this. Now this is the first appearance of Starhawk from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a minor appearance. I think he's in like one panel or two panels or something. But I also really dig the Gil Kane cover. And I do sort of collect Defenders, unless the covers are really bad, then I won't get them. Now look at what Doctor Strange is saying here. Is this like sexist? It says the Badoon women are far more savage than their men. Unless I strike swiftly, Hulk and Valkyrie are doomed. Well, Valkyrie looks like she's in a little bit of trouble already. She's passed out. Hulk's helping her as best he can. But these Badoon women, man, I hope this isn't like the cream of the crop to choose from. And what do the Badoon guys look like? This is what the women look like. Wow. Anyway, that's a groovy Gil Kane cover. It appears to be inked by John Romita. You can tell by the face. That looks like Romita to me. And the ink lines look like Romita. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I almost would bet my life that this is inked. This is Gil Kane inked by John Romita. So there you go. I'm betting my life on it. But anyway, cool cover. I like the cover. Again, Kane, what makes Gil Kane so great is he almost always will take a centralized figure or action that draws your attention in, that's bigger than the rest. And then, then your eye goes out to the surrounding details, but it's that big central character that gives that oomph, And so there you go. I've really become a Gil Kane simp in my old age. All right, and I picked this one up too. Now, those of you who watch the She-Hulk television show, the Wrecking Crew here has become kind of a hot property. And I always liked him when I was a kid. You got the Wrecker, you got Thunderball, you've got, what do we got here? Pile Driver, Bulldozer. I mean, but they really ruined it, apparently, from what I saw, at least the photos of the Wrecking Crew they're going to use in She-Hulk were really incredibly soy and lame, and nothing as cool as this. But what it's done is it's made me, that I'm trying to get Wrecking Crew appearances or covers, made them more expensive than they should be. So it's kind of ticked me off. But I saw this at a good price and I got it. And that's another Gil Kane cover. This is another really good Gil Kane cover. Now, I would think I might have gone and made Iron Fist a little bit bigger. But again, nice composition. You got this big ball and chain coming down to crush Iron Fist. And he says, the record says, squash him, Thunderball. Show that martial arts punk some real pounding. And then Iron Fist thinking to himself, nearly exhausted. Even if my Iron Fist stops him, Pile Driver, the Wrecker, and Bulldozer will finish me. So he appears to be doomed. Well, that's good enough reason to buy the comic to see if he actually is doomed. But anyway, that's number 11. That's another near mint book because I only buy near mint books. Now, here's the real story here. And my son tells me he got this cheaper than $60. Now, those of you who watch my unboxing videos, you will know that I put out a video called Near Mint Book Wrecked by Poor Packaging. I ordered this book from a guy, allegedly in near mint condition. He put it in one of those flimsy photograph cardboard. They're like really super thin. Cardboard is not even an apt description of it, but or an accurate description of it. But it's those thin, super thin cardboard mailers that you put photos in, right? He didn't put any extra cardboard in here. The book got mangled, right? So I called him on it. And then he said, he tried to accuse me of he accused me of wrecking it myself and then keeping his near mint book and sending him back a damaged book. Like I had a damaged book sitting here and it was a scam. And then I wanted my $25 back or whatever I paid him for it, right? And I was just like, dude, that's the most elaborate, ridiculous scenario that you could have created to protect yourself from your crappy shipping and having to admit that you did not do a good job shipping this book. Because he was arguing with me that there was nothing wrong with his, and I showed him pictures. He was arguing with me there was nothing wrong with his packaging. And if you go watch the video, it's ridiculous. But so anyway, this book got wrecked. So I sent it back to him. I wanted my money. So then he sends me an email saying, I'm over, I don't know, I'm retired or whatever. And I'm on a fixed income and this really hurts me. And I'm like, I said, dude, keep your money. Just learn how to package your books. I was so pissed off and annoyed at the whole situation. So I didn't get the money back from him because he made me feel guilty, even though he wrecked the book by his poor packaging. But anyway, so I get this book. I got off my soapbox here. So I got this book from Josh and Jessica. I opened it up and there it was. So here's the book that got wrecked that I sent back to the guy on eBay who never refunded me because he's on a fixed income. And so now I have a near mint copy of Captain Marvel 7, once again with this jazzy John Romita cover. Look at that, Coming of Quasimodo. So anyway, that's a nice Silver Age gem from 1968, back when comics were a mere 12 cents. Can you imagine? So anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is in my collection right now. What do you guys have to say about it? Got all these chats in here. What do they say? Shelley? All right, hang on a second. Shelley, they're chanting for you, for crying out loud. All right, I just let Shelley know that you guys are begging for her to make an appearance. Dude, I got like hanging shelves from the ceiling. We got shelves everywhere. We just got to get rid of stuff is our main concern at this point. Let's see this. That's true. I could have bought a dozen eggs for $20. Actually, I got a dozen eggs for $4 and some odd cents. So apparently not as expensive here as other places. Ooh, I got a Defenders 1 for $15. Is it near mint? Mine's in near mint. I paid $100 for it or $200 for it or something like that. Grab a chair for a second.
Yeah. Oh.
Shelley is in the house.
A minute.
JG says, I almost forgot you were live streaming. I was being entertained with your Batman sketch from yesterday. If you're selling it, I'd love to own it. It's going into an auction at a con. That's the only reason I did it, but thank you. Yeah, there is. Hang on a second.
Wait. Oh my gosh.
I'm waiting for Shelley to sit down so I can change the camera.
Okay.
Here we go.
Woo! The stuff we find in the Low Presty house.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
So Shelley's here.
I just cleaning.
Yeah, let's see here.
I didn't have very many side effects from radiation, just one. Just this one.
This one in the eyes. Did you see that? You wouldn't have seen it. Maybe you did. There was a Stephen King movie where they had to do like Timothy. Who's that guy? Used to be an actor. You never see him in anything anymore. He was in Ordinary People.
Timothy Hutton.
Yeah. So he plays this. Anyway, they do surgery on his head, and there's like eyes and teeth. There's like growing out of his brain in there, freaking everybody out.
Like
I can't remember what the movie was. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Not the green fur though.
Well, we got the Christmas tree down.
No slacking.
No slacking. Got all the ornaments put in the new organization stuff I bought.
Funny how many bad eBay sellers don't have fixed income. Boy, isn't that the truth?
We all are.
I was complaining about Josh replaced the Captain Marvel and
Christina
says hi.
Drag her up by the hair. Yeah.
Oh, no. Yay, Shelley, love and miss you.
Hi, Ash.
Look at that. They never said that to me. Shelley, maybe you should dye your hair. The green is so common today. Dark half. So EVS is battling us yet again.
Again.
He's constantly streaming, so he's trying to steal our audience. We're doing okay considering. Which one of the Muppets did Shelley sell?
Yeah. No, it's funny because my friend's here and she's goes, this is a perfect example of what you find in the Little Presty house.
Well, Shelley, how long can you stay?
about 30 seconds.
Okay, well, let's take a look. We're going to skip ahead and jump to the Bigfoot videos so Shelley can look at those.
I don't want to see any more Bigfoot videos.
Wow, thanks for
that came out.
Thanks for helping the
Can't
program.
put it back in. No, I thought you were going to do like Precious Moments or Shelley Knows, or we could do Shelley and Carol Knows.
Do you want to do Shelley Knows?
Not really, but we could do it.
Apparently, you don't even want to be here. They're chanting your name to come on, and you come on the show and just rip on the show.
Sweet. No, I'm not ripping on the show. It's just that Carol's downstairs.
I know she is. So I'm saying, how much can I get out of you? What do you want to do? You're wasting time thinking about it. Just tell me. So you don't want to. You don't want to look at the Bigfoot videos.
We're almost done.
So what are you saying?
I can come back.
You can come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe find a different hat.
Okay. So you're almost done. So you will be back.
Yes.
So I can save precious moments till you come back because it is for you. Or do you want to wait?
No, I'll be back. I just don't leave her down there by herself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be back.
Shelley Showtime.
I'll be back.
She'll be back. And in the meantime, we're going to take a look at this. Drink of water there to clear out the old parched throat there. I know Ashley's like, I want to see the Bigfoot videos. Her son is getting impatient, but it's Shelley's fault. It's totally Shelley's fault. Gretchen Ayers. All right, Gretchen. And that's an excellent point. Thank you for reminding me. At the end of this month, folks, that's 15 days, 16 days. I guess it goes to the 31st, right? I am shutting down t-shirts and they're going into production. So if you want a t-shirt, and I'm excited too, because I'm going to get a Garbage Man shirt, which I had one a long time ago, but it was like, I just made it for myself. And so I get the color Garbage Man shirt. I've got the Wraith of God shirt already, which couldn't find it today. I don't know where it was at. My daughter may have stole it. She steals all my clothes. It's the weirdest thing. But anyway, I want to get one of those Dale Bloody Werewolf shirts, and gosh darn it, I'll wear it. So there's a lot of cool shirts on there. We're pushing almost selling 200 shirts, which I think for a small town campaign like ours, that's pretty good. But don't miss out on these shirts, because I will order a few extras, but not a ton. I can't carry a ton of inventory. Shirts are hard because of sizes and everything like that. So if you want one of these shirts, make sure you get in there in the next 16 days. Thank you, Gretchen. I appreciate that. Pac-Man is Waka Waka, I guess, after Shelley. 10-8 Comics says. He's very impatient. It's okay to stay up later tonight, though. No school tomorrow. That's right. Hang in there, buddy. We will get to Bigfoot. And I think I've got like 5 Bigfoot videos. And just between us, Shelley doesn't know anything about this. We're also going to be doing a segment on things that can eat you, which Shelley is not going to appreciate either. Or as John Malin would say, so it should be a good time. So hang in there. Hang in there. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, we're supposed to show artwork. Okay. So I posted recently a picture, and Ashley, you'll know this because I believe this is actually in your possession. You correct me if I'm wrong. It's either you or your brother. But I do occasionally will do portraits. I don't like to do portraits of non-famous people because, like, if someone said, hey, Aaron, not that, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't like to do portraits that people would commission me to do of, say, themselves, because those are always kind of tricky. People are like, I don't look like that. How come I'm not, better looking or whatever, so it's try to avoid that. But I will do celebrity ones, because that's a portrait of somebody else. It's not like I'm doing a Kurt Russell portrait and sending it to Kurt Russell, right? I'm sending it to somebody else. So, and I generally do, if I do portraits of people or actors, it's usually from a role that we all kind of like, that maybe is iconic, and kind of gives it, it's more than just the person, it's the character, and that makes it kind of fun. Gretchen Ayers says, I love my beanie, by the way, perfect for these crazy cold winter days in Texas, in West Texas. That is true. What I have discovered, the reason I'm wearing this beanie is because I don't have any hair up here. But if you remember, of course, whenever I do live streams, or have been over the winter time, I've usually got 3 or 4 layers on because I'm freaking freezing. And Now what I found is I can put on one shirt or two, a long sleever like this, and I can put the cap on, and it keeps the old body heat from escaping from the dome, which then keeps me warmer. So I can wear less clothes and still be warm. So it's like science. You guessed it. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one. So these are technically not my flat files because these are all gone. Well, a couple of these are sketches in my sketchbook, and there I still have those. But a lot of these were like pieces I did, and and this one was a commission several years ago for Ashley McCraner, John Smith's daughter, who you will see in the chat. And this is Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, there's two ways to do good portraits. Okay, one is you get a photograph, right? Or someone sits for you and poses, and you draw what you see and accurately reproduce it the best you can. Now, what a lot of people do, professionals do, like Drew Struz and guys of that nature, when you're doing movie posters, because if you do a portrait, there's like you draw it to either look exactly like the actor, or you draw it through your filter, your impression of what this person looks like, right? And it's not always right on the money, right? But it has the feel of the person. And you say, oh yeah, that looks like Johnny Depp or whatever. My endeavor here was to have an accurate, this looks like Johnny Depp. So what you can do is you can take a photograph or a picture of the character. And then what you do is you light table the shape of the face, the placement of the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and everything. So everything's right on the money. Okay. So then you go with that base established. So everything is right where it's supposed to be, right? It's not an interpretation. And then you go in, and using the photographic reference, you then fill in the blanks and the detail and all that kind of stuff. And that will give you some people say, well, that's cheating. It's commercial art, folks. But you'll see most people, what they'll do is, the trick is to add a little bit of your own personal artistic flair to the illustration so that, yes, it looks exactly like Johnny Depp, but at the same time, it has kind of a little sort of style to it, a little flavor that the artist brings to it. And that's the trick, right? That's why Drew Struzan is so good. He's not just tracing the photograph of a face. He is doing that to an extent, but then he's going over it and making it unique to his style and his approach. So you have an accurate depiction of the actor or the character or the actor in that role, but then you also have adjustments that you make as an artist that give it a sense of style and make it more than just a photographic representation. People who say it's cheating don't have any talent and never had to meet a deadline. There's so much truth in that, but it's also an understanding of what your goal is, right? My final goal is to make this look like Jack Sparrow. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. Okay. What I'm trying to do is create a piece of artwork that represents this character that the person who gets it, in this case, Ashley, is happy with it. And that is the case here. So, and it's not like this was easy. Okay. I take about a couple minutes when I trace the face and the eye placement and where the nose is and all that kind of stuff. I spend less than 5 minutes doing that. And then the rest of the time I spend drawing over the top of that framework that I put in there that's based on the photograph and making adjustments and things like that to make it more. So anyway, so I do this occasionally. I don't just do comic art, but there's Captain Jack. A lot of these, maybe some of you have seen, maybe some of you have not. Here's Karloff as Frankenstein. Now, this was done on watercolor paper with just a graphite pencil. Again, same technique I used with Captain Jack, where I had the photograph. I And here's the other thing too. Even if you're light tabling through watercolor paper, that is thick paper, and you can't really see everything clearly. So what you're basically doing is kind of just trying to make sure you got the eyes in the right spot, the nose in the right spot, and it's about the right width, the mouth and those things, and the shape of the head correct. And then you go in and you start doing all this other work on the piece to jazz it up. I did a series of these. I'll show you a couple of them, not all of them. But I did a wolf man. I did two brides. I did the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I did a Lon Chaney Wolfman, and I did, of course, the Karloff Frankenstein, which is my fave. It seems like these would have been more appropriate on like a Halloween stream. Okay, so here is one of two. I'm not going to show you both because I actually, quite frankly, I couldn't find the other one. There's Elsa Lanchester as the Bride of Frankenstein. Now, wow, craziness going on downstairs. Okay, so on this one, the trick, and nothing against Elsa Lanchester, God rest her soul, but not a real beauty in the classic sense. I mean, she was attractive enough, I suppose, but she actually was really good for this character because she was not overly attractive, which made for more of a believable, representation here of a, creature, if you will. But she's a little difficult because you want to dress her up a little bit so she comes off a little bit prettier than she actually is, without really changing anything. And sometimes you can do that by, making the eyelashes or whatever thicker, certain things like that, softening certain features. And this, of course, is underlighting, which is harsh lighting anyway, so that I'm battling that, like the bags under her eyes and things like that. But she does have a very interesting face. Her nose is very interesting. So in terms of just from an artistic exercise, she's a lot of fun to draw because she's not like, everything is just not like slick and perfect. She has a very, like I said, interesting nose. Her lips are very kind of full, so she's a lot of fun to draw. And people, of course, really, really dig the Bride, of course. Pastmaster Dan says she bathed. What is that? It's Serene.
No, I just did the...
Oh, you're just trying to find it?
Yeah.
Well, I found it.
Sorry. Thanks.
So Shelley won't come on camera, but she will disrupt the show.
I will.
That's kind of her philosophy, I think, today. Pastmaster Dan says her nose looks like a fat knee. Oh, what was this? Can you please replace the bag on the detective comic, a more reflective bag, so I can watch the game? Yeah, I can see you're getting little bits of the television back there and the glare from that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, no. Paul Taylor hails Shelley. She came and she went, but she'll be back. She promises she'll be back. So we'll see. Okay, so that's that. Now, let me show you an example of a couple of pieces that I used photo reference for, but I did not, as I said, light box in the features or anything. I simply drew looking at the picture and then drew it on the page. Now, these are sketchbook drawings, but they're, I still endeavor to be accurate. Charlie's London would appreciate this. This is our good friend Charlie Chaplin. I did that in a sketchbook. The thing with Chaplin is you could draw him to look almost like anything and he would look like Chaplin because he has such a unique look. You put him in the costume, you give him the Hitler-esque mustache. But what you can see in this, excuse me, is what I did here with the shapes and everything to kind of make them a little more angular and bumpy. Again, that's what I'm talking about, kind of adding a little bit of style to it. So you're still accurate to the features of the actor, but you're doing things in a way that dresses it up stylistically wise. The hair's stylized looking here, right? Um, but again, this was a fun exercise, and I really enjoy doing this, but they can be really aggravating and challenging too, because, you know, you can screw it up as easily as you can nail it. This one fairly successful, I think. Sequential Treasures says Shelley interrupting the show is called wife's prerogative. Yeah. We got some more Hail Shelleys in there. Angry Gamer is joining us. Thanks for dropping in, Angry Gamer. Appreciate that very much. Okay, so there's Chaplin. Okay, now let's take a look at this. This is another one that I think was pretty successful. And I did this in my sketchbook. This was also, you see this in my 20 years of sketches hardcover that is sold out now. But if you have a copy of it, this will be in there. What I did here was, this again was looking at a photograph of Kurt Russell. And this is watercolor and then colored pencil over the top of the watercolor. Sort of like a poor man's Drew Struzan approach. So you can see that it looks like Kurt Russell, but it's not 100% accurate to the point you'd say, oh, that's photorealism, dude. But it does capture Kurt Russell. I mean, you look at that, you know that's Kurt Russell. You know that's Kurt Russell from Big Trouble in Little China. So, you know, from that standpoint, it's a win. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? That's by accident, for sure. I'm a big Mort Drucker fan, but he's not someone I necessarily look at to draw inspiration from. I look at his stuff just to enjoy it. But so yeah, so that's my Kurt Russell. Again, different than the other ones, which were pencil. This is, I did it in pencil, of course, very lightly. Then I watercolored it on, then colored penciled over the top. That's a technique that I started using, when I was in junior high. I was putting, because watercolor dries very sort of rough. And so it gives you some tooth. If you want to go with a colored pencil over the top of it to texture and do some shading and stuff, like all of this through here, I did put that watercolor shadow in there, right? But then I went over the top of it with a colored pencil to strengthen that shadow and give it again a sense of style through the actual medium. You know, so I'm letting the colored pencil, the texture that I can get with the colored pencil, create some texture and some style to the drawing, to the illustration, rather than just having it being straight up, you know, watercolor, which can get a little splotchy in areas, right? So, and here's our final one. Now, Harrison Ford, he has very interesting, distinct eyes, and his nose is very distinct. So there's certain things about him that make him easier to kind of capture. But again, this is just me looking at a drawing or a photograph, excuse me, and then drawing it in my sketchbook. Now, this is all colored pencil. There's no watercolor in there at all. But you can see what I'm talking about when you say, yeah, you look at that, everybody knows it's Harrison Ford, but it doesn't have like that Struzan photorealistic quality to it, right? It has more of an interpretive, this is my vision of Harrison Ford. And of course, that vision is controlled by my ability to see that photograph and then interpret it onto the page through my mind and through the use of my hands, obviously. And some of them are, you know, I've done pieces that are just garbage, you know, you just throw them away. So not every time I do this, it's a great success. I've got a nice Catherine Deneuve too. I did many years ago. Decent Brando Godfather I did. But I tried to do Tom Holland for my daughter, and it just sucked, and I just tossed it. I just couldn't get it. This is a very drawing what you see is a very different discipline than drawing out of your mind, okay, or what we'd call drawing from rote. So drawing from memory is one thing. Drawing what you see is just an entirely different way to use your brain. And when you're not used to doing it, it takes time to get it back into that mode. So you go through and do a few portraits and they all suck, but maybe on that third one or that fourth one, your mind's starting to pick it up again, and they start to come together. And then every once in a while you get lucky and it turns out okay, like this one. Evil One says, my friend likes that Indiana Jones, Aaron. Thank you to your friend. Yeah, what a Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yeah, well, he wasn't Spider-Man. It was just Tom Holland. I mean, I might have given him the Spider-Man collar. I don't know, but it sucked, and so it went into the garbage. I know, fedoras are cool. Now that Shelley's got me wearing those those newsy caps, I could go for a fedora. Why not? I'm getting old enough that I could pull that off and people go, that's just some old guy wearing a hat. They don't care. Like, you're young and do that, people go, what are you doing? Why are you being so dumb? But if you're old, you do it. They're like, whatever. It's an old guy. Looks good on him. Yeah, I love this. Come on. Disney's doing the new Indiana Jones movie. How bad could it be? Evil One, are you out the door already? Peace out, brother. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Okay, so there's some art. That's what's in my flat files this week. Okay, Ashley, tell your son to get excited because here it comes. The moment we've all been waiting for. I got some beauties today. Okay, so let me preface this by saying that my opinions on Bigfoot are simply my opinions on Bigfoot for fun and entertainment purposes. Please don't be offended if you don't agree with my opinions. I recently had a scientist, a gentleman who's a biologist, who took great offense to my not accepting the idea that birds evolved from dinosaurs. I took great offense to it. In fact, that he asked for a refund from the campaign and said that he couldn't support anybody that rejected science like that. And I simply tried to state that I wasn't insulting his opinion on it, or even that what he believed to be factual evidence that supported his belief in this, that simply that there were other scientists of renowned and PhD level that saw things differently. And so whenever I see conflicting scientific reports about something, not opinion, not emotional responses, but scientific people that are using data and saying, well, I interpret it this way, and another person saying, well, I don't think that's the right way to interpret it, then I say that's unsettled science. And I think that's a reasonable position to take. And this gentleman did not think it was a reasonable position to take, and now he hates me. So I just want to say that my opinions on scientific matters are simply my opinions, and to be used for entertainment purposes only. Don't take it personal. We're just having fun here. And now, with that being said, let's make fun of Bigfoot. Well, but see, here's the thing. I don't want to get into this because I'm going to piss people off again. But what I'm reading is that the feather thing is not exactly conclusive, that there's some extrapolation going on there, which we always do with the fossil records. There has to be some extrapolation. Now, there may be a roadmap out there that says there's evidence that supports the road goes in this direction. Okay. And I understand that. But I also understand that there's some gray areas that have not been filled in. And I can't accept something factually. Like, for example, if someone said, Aaron, get a particular shot to cure you of something. Like, well, maybe I'd like to see a little bit more research to see if that's actually going to happen first. So anyway, again, there are people, let me tell you this. Obviously, I didn't mean to go off on this, but I'm going off on it anyway. Those of you who know and watch the show, you know I'm a Christian, so you know I have religious beliefs, right? And those, of course, I'm looking for evidence to support my beliefs, just like an atheist generally is looking for evidence to support their beliefs. And so it's very hard to get 100% objectivity, even scientifically. I mean, let's just be honest, right? So we're all sort of jaded a little bit by our opinions and what forms our opinions. So we need to take that into consideration and just have a little bit of humility to say that, okay, I believe I'm right. In fact, you could even say, I know I'm right, but there's still a chance you might be wrong. So let's just be gracious to one another, express our opinions, have healthy debate, some fun conversations, and let's not get pissed. There's no reason to get pissed. That's all I'm saying. So there you are. Anyway, so what did I say? Let's make fun of Bigfoot. All right, this is bad. But I've got to show it anyway. I want to know what Ashley's son has to say about this one. So I hope he's watching. Okay. I'm booming here. All right, give me a second. All right. I shouldn't play this with the sound because I'm going to get hit. But the thing is, this guy's reaction is so bad that maybe it's worth it. Let's take a look at this. See Bigfoot back there? Now watch this guy's reaction.
Give me the camera. Give me the camera.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you find anything about this remotely believable? If you want, look, I want to believe in Bigfoot. I do. Don't we all? Wouldn't that be great? But, let's watch this again. You got to give me better than this. He's got his friend in a monkey suit. Come on. Look at that. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that, baby. Look at that. Ashley, how could you say that in front of your son? What does he think about it? Is he on board with this one, or is he saying, no, that's a fake? Point blank says that Bigfoot looks fake. That's my point. Give me some evidence I can sink my teeth into. Yes, Bigfoot would be a living missing link. Otherwise, it's just a guy in a gorilla costume. And that seems to be the truth more often than not. But let's take a look at another one. Maybe this is more convincing. Now, this guy, I always love the guys that they have their testimony, right? And they seem like they were really shaken by what they saw. That doesn't mean this isn't performance art either. Let's take a look at this one. We like to call this Bigfoot number 2 video. Let's see. I'm not going to play this guy's comments because they really don't matter. So okay. All right. Nice shaky. There he is. You kind of see something. See him ducking down behind the rock there? Let's take a look at that again. See, he's ducking down behind the rock. I don't know what we can ascertain from that video, honestly. So what happened is these guys, this is like on some Finding Bigfoot show, right? Or whatever. And they kind of reenact it, right? And they're just saying, well, it's too massive to be a guy in a suit. I'm like, no, you could be a guy in a suit with a massive suit. I mean, it's just, I don't know what we can really gather from that. Probably not a bear. It's probably his friend in a suit. And he's trying to convince us that he was shocked by it all. I'm going to have to say not conclusive scientific evidence there. Isn't that funny? Paul, I think the old shaky cam footage Bigfoot was still, 1969. He's talking about the Patterson-Gimlin film, which is probably still the best video that exists on Bigfoot, and it's still terrible. So, yeah. And you have people that come out and said, I mean, we talked about this earlier, Paul. I don't know if you were here for the show, but a couple of weeks ago, that there was a guy that claimed to be the guy in the suit, right? And told his story. And we talked about that a little bit. So, we got people in Hollywood claiming to have made the suit. I mean, it's just nuts. All right. Now this is, I don't even know what we're supposed to gather from this either. But let's take a look at it because I'm here. This is like turning into Art Bell's show or something, isn't it? I'm going to start looking at aliens and like the Wisconsin dog man and things like that. That's when we're really going to get to some meaty stuff, I think. Okay, here's our Bigfoot video number 3. Let's see what you guys make of this one. Okay, they covered this on the news. And this is in I think this is in Utah, maybe. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm turning the guy's volume off because it's irrelevant to what we're watching. But I said turn the volume off. All right, so this is what we're looking at right here. I mean, is that a bear? Is that his buddy? I mean, we have no idea what that is. And these are the guys that filmed it, right? So do we trust these guys? I don't know. And here he is telling his story. It must be something. Let's take a look again. So here we're looking at this guy right here. I can't really, can't make much from that. And I don't know. Do you trust these guys? I don't know. I'm not saying they're untrustworthy. He has blue eyes, so that's, there's some value there, I guess. But and he combed his hair for the interview. But I don't know. Let's take one more look. I find this not particularly compelling. But it's far enough away that you'd think, did he make his buddy walk all the way over there to do that? It could be a bear, though. I mean, I'll give you that. It could be a bear. They stand up all the time, don't they? All right, so that's, what do you guys think of that? He says that doesn't have to be one big-ass dude. It's true. Yeah, 10-8 Comics thinks that's a sketchy bunch. He's not really sure. Pine Barrens are pretty scary. No, Paul Taylor says that's not. Now, Paul must be he's probably our resident scientist in the chat, so he's going to challenge me. That's fine. That's not a bear because it's upright for an extended period of time, not just rearing up. Don't they walk around, though? I mean, can't they do that? Like walk around their hind legs for a little bit? I'm not saying it is a bear, but I'm just saying, Colin doesn't trust them. It's a bear, says Colin. Look at that, Paul. You got little kids calling out saying that's a bear. So I don't know. Look at that. Tom made up for it. He says, screw that other guy here. And I just backed Wraith of God. Thank you for balancing the scales, man. I appreciate it. Am I doing a game show for your next hosting? Probably. That's always my fallback when I can't think of an interesting topic. I'm like, we're doing, and it takes me hours, literally hours to prepare. What 6 Ways to Someday is asking about is when I host the professionals on Tuesday nights, it's a rotating show. There's 6 of us. So I do it once every 6 weeks. A lot of times I do trivia night game shows, which are a lot of fun because the guys get really, Billy especially, and Graham a little bit, because they're our resident smarty pantses. They get a little ticked off and get a little competitive, and it gets fun. So I would probably do that. Daniels just claims it was me. I got lost on a hike. So I was saying, Paul says only in the Russian circus do the bears stand up. What's this? I don't admit I have a biology degree because people start asking me obscure questions like, what's the gestation period for a blue whale? But those are the important questions. Okay, Paul. Well, I'm glad you're here because I do like differing opinions. I really do, because I like to kind of hear both sides of every story. Just as long as we can remain civil and still be friends, I think that's great. Oh, look at that. Julie Pascal, aren't you smart? Isn't it 2 years? Paul Taylor says, correct, Julie. Look at that. We're not talking about whales today, but maybe someday we will, because they are big. Well, they're big. I almost said big fish. Now we got in trouble, wouldn't I, Paul? All right, let's take a look at this one. I find this one completely ridiculous, but that's just me. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, so what we're looking at is this guy right, where is he? This guy right there. And they're claiming this guy's Bigfoot. I'm just like, isn't that a guy in a coat and pants walking around on the ridge of a mountain? I mean, isn't that what that is? Does that look like it could be anything other than a dude walking on the ridge of the hill? Now, he's pretty tall, granted. Now, people like in the discussion, you know, they put the comments in the video. I got this off YouTube, right? And they're saying like, no human being walks like that. It's got to be Bigfoot. And I'm like, what do you mean no human being walks like that? I can walk any way I want to. I mean, he's pretty tall. It would appear to be. But I don't know. Is that a guy in a coat? I mean, it's a long video. I'll give him credit, but you know, and then he comes out here. And the interesting thing is, okay, when does he come out? Come on, get your camera back up there. There it is. Okay, so look in here between the trees. He's going to come out here. There he is, right there. Now, apparently he turns and starts yelling at him or something, or, you know, shaking his fist. I don't know. Does Bigfoot shake his fist? I mean, there's more to it, but it was just kind of same old, right? And so it's kind of like, would Bigfoot shake his fist at you because he was like pissed that you were like in his territory or something? I don't know. I don't know about that. John Smith, Ashley McCraner's father, just texted me. How about that? So anyway, I don't know. It looks to me like a guy in a coat. There you go. Look at that. Citizen Ronan. And Citizen Ronan is probably not a biologist. And he's saying all humans lean back when walking down the slope. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That could have been me for all I know. Kelsey sighting, perhaps. Geek Avenger is probably their mom. Actually, definitely an alien. So there's a wide variety of of opinions about that. Okay, now this is supposedly, well, I've saved the best for last. This is second to the last one. This one is better than all the ones I think we've seen, and this one is blurry. But we'll take a look. We'll see what Ashley's son has to say about this. Okay, are you ready? See, it's blurry, but let's take a look. God, that looks like a guy in a baggy suit to me, a baggy monkey suit to me. Now, there's a couple things they're going to point out. Paul, you can chime in on this because perhaps it's something that you're familiar with, maybe not. But if you are, go ahead and chime in when we get to it here. I'll point it out, and I want to hear your opinion on this if you have one. Okay, so what the guy is saying, first of all, right, is he's pointing out that this is consistent with Bigfootery because the guy is leaning forward the whole time. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't tell me anything because anybody could lean forward. But the other thing that I keep hearing, are they going to show it? Oh, shoot. Let me go back. I'll have to stop it when I see it. I think it's right here. Oh, it's so hard to see. Right here. Okay. The angle of where his knee bends, I keep hearing from these Bigfootologists or cryptozoologists or whatever they are that supposedly study these things, that this is something a human would not do, would have a 90-degree kick up of your foot. But certainly a human could do that, right? I mean, that's what I don't understand. I'm not sure I understand why that's even an important thing. where the knee bends like that. But the comments on this one, they think this is like pretty good. And I don't know. This looks like maybe there's a seam right there. This looks awfully baggy. Look at this. Doesn't that look like a baggy sleeve of a carpet suit or something? I don't know. I find this terribly unconvincing. And yet a lot of people in the comments of this video found it to be very convincing. So I don't know what to make of this. And I don't know that, him running backwards seems kind of fake. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. What are we seeing here? I don't know, man. Kind of looks like a dude in a suit to me. Oh, is there a flap back there? What is that? Maybe that's just the lighting, but is there a... Yeah, okay. Well, let's take one more look at this because I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, look when he runs out into the light. Doesn't that look like maybe there's like a flap back there or something on him? Maybe I guess that's the branch from the tree, isn't it? Okay, I take that back. I don't know. Angry Gamer says, with all these very credible videos, how can anyone not believe in Bigfoot? Isn't that the problem? It's like 95% of these videos are so clearly fake that it makes it kind of hard to have any faith in people out there. Susan Ron says, I call shenanigans. Colin says, video 2 is the only real one. Okay. All right. Well, that's what Colin says. Now, Colin, he's a Bigfoot aficionado. So I'm going to go with Colin, thinking that he thinks the second one. Curious, is that a mullet? I don't know. Did Paul the biologist leave us? I was hoping he might give us some commentary on this one. Oh, let's see. Andre the Giant made a good Bigfoot of the $6 Million Man. Yes, those were great episodes. And I guess the who was it that was telling me? I guess it was David Williams was telling me. We talked about this on the Wednesday Graybeard Studio show. That I don't remember this as a kid, but the Bigfoot and $6 Million Man was like part bionic or something too. So I guess it was like its kin or something. That Bigfoot looks like an orangutan. See, Christine she's not buying it either. Just not buying it either. Let's see. Paul says, you think it'd be better camouflage for his environment? I would agree. The red hair seems unlikely to me. Yeah, I'm almost setting myself up to have to do a Sasquatch story, aren't I, in Wraith of God? Paul Taylor, where is he? Paul says, oh, let me try it again. Paul says, yeah, Steve Austin ripped his arm off. Okay. The Bigfoot was given bionics by the aliens. Okay, is that right? I think you're right. I think you are right. Okay, let's take a look at our last Bigfoot video. Now, Colin, you tell me what you think of this, because I think this is the best looking one that I've seen yet. So you guys go ahead and tell me what you think of this. There's a couple people watching him, which I thought was good. They got the camera shot, but oh, he's not going to go mess with the Bigfoot, is he? Oh! Let's watch that again. That was brutal. That's amazing that they kept the camera on. Oh, he ripped his arm off. That's horrible. They seem to have product placement here too, which is kind of unusual. Would you bring a joy buzzer into the woods with you? I mean, what are you planning? Okay. Bigfoot seems like he's friendly enough, but he doesn't get the joke. Oh my goodness. Are you? Oh, wow. That was pretty shocking. I have been, the people that made that costume, That's obviously not a real video. That's a Jack Link's beef jerky commercial. But anyway, the guys that made that costume are the same guys that did Jurassic Park, that did the Avengers movies. Stan Winston's old studio, which is now Legacy Special Effects. My son worked there for 6 months as an engineering intern, and they made that suit. And that's a heck of a looking suit. Now, if I saw that walking around the woods and someone had maybe a shaky video of that, I might buy it. But my guess is that to get a costume like that, you're probably paying a good amount of money, probably close to $1 million or something like that. So, you'd have to be really rich with nothing better to do than fake Bigfoot videos to put that much money into it. But that's a pretty good looking Bigfoot. Well, Christina, what they did was Jacqueline, and a lot of the other commercials do this too. They'll do commercials specifically for YouTube, so they can put anything they want on them, but they can't show that on TV. Obviously, ripping a guy's arm off, but they can do it on. And they can have swearing in their videos and stuff. So you see a lot of weird, Snickers videos and things like that only play on YouTube that they would not be able to show on TV. Those are some of my favorite commercials. I tried to get Taco Bell for it seemed like months, and they just wouldn't have anything to do with me. I shocked the young lad. Ah, boy. Auntie Entity says, you get the Stan Winston school to make it. It will be expensive, but it'll be good. Corey Landis, great. My faith in humanity was intrinsically linked with a beef jerky commercial. Time to rethink everything. Jump to 141 of this video. I don't have that much of it, so I'd have to go back and 141 of that Bigfoot video. So that's just a Jack Link's beef jerky commercial. You can find them on YouTube. There's a ton of them. And there's they put one out in front of his cave and with a sack of poop, and they light it on fire, and he comes out and steps on it, and he's like, ugh, and they laugh and they get in a boat and fly away. Then he goes up on the ridge and takes the bag of poop and throws it and hits the guy in the face, and the poop explodes all over the guy's face. There's just tons of stuff like that. Just tomfoolery at its finest. You're darn right. Everyone's using the wrong bait. See? Okay. So I'm going to spin off that a little bit. I want to show you guys two things that are, do I dare say art bellish? Now, this is why you just can't trust anybody. Okay. All right. This is not Bigfoot, but this is photography supposedly lifted off a trail cam. Okay. And I'm not saying it's not trail cam photography, but what I'm saying is it's doctored trail cam photography. But take a look at this. I didn't think these things were real, but apparently, according to this trail cam video, jackalopes are indeed a thing. So there you go. I'm calling BS on this one. But this was trail cam footage that apparently was not doctored, but sure looks to me like the doctor was in the house on this one. Angry Gamer saying, no, real. Yep. Now, see, Paul is our resident biologist. I hope you stay with the show, Paul, because I have another Paul who's our resident engineer, and you now can be our resident biologist. He thinks that's totally not doctored at all. So, and he's a professional. So, Randy, don't get dirty. Colin concurs with your BS, concurs with my BS. Okay. All right. Yeah, you know what? This could be a stuffed animal that they put in front of the trail cam too. I never even thought of that. I thought maybe it was just a rabbit and then they added the horns, but they could have actually made this and stuck it in front of the trail cam. So anyway, so that's one. Now this one is interesting. I mean, totally serious. This one is interesting. I kind of want to know what you guys think of this, because this guy allegedly shot this in his backyard. I think he's in Virginia. So he's it's a smaller town. So he's got, there's property and stuff out there. So what do you think of this? My only thing about this, it looks like it's got stripes and stuff, like it's like part wolf or part hyena, like it's a hybrid of some kind of weird thing. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, look at this guy lifting up. He's probably my age. You can't really see, but he's kind of gray mustache and beard. He's an older guy, definitely in his 50s. Doesn't seem to be straining too hard lifting what seems to be something that would probably weigh a good 150 pounds. Now, it could just be the photo. We get kind of a shot of the legs and everything. Now, this dude, I guess Charleston, West Virginia. Okay, we're gonna have another shot of this in a minute. So let me speed past this garbage. Okay, here we go. So it was posted with this. It said Billy Speck killed this wolf hyena in the mountain behind his house in Elkins, West Virginia. So there it is. Now, do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like it's, it could just be he's in that right position, his back is locked or whatever. It doesn't really look like he's straining like he should be if that thing was not like some sort of stuffed thing or a fake thing. Maybe look at how the hair leans up against the pant leg. Do you think that's photoshopped in there? Or is he actually holding that up? And what is it? If that's what he's doing, I don't know. Anti-Entity says that looks like a small bear. Wants to know, Citizen Ronan, bear with mange. Could be. That has mange. Do you want to be holding it that tight? Ugh. It says it looks like it has a hoof. It does, but I think that's both arms extended out, and so we're seeing both paws sort of overlapping in the front that make it look like a hoof. Randy Hall wants to know, were those slippers on that creature? No, I think that's that dude's foot back here. He's got his moccasin things on there. Again, bear with mange. Amanda Gross for $2. Thank you for the $2, Amanda. I appreciate that. Watch the movie Pottersville for Bigfoot research. Okay. Pottersville. Okay. Corey says he knows judo. Gets the cryptozoological creatures close to the center of his gravity. I got you. So there's many explanations for this. Well, you can do a lot with taxidermy. Of course, he's referring to the jackalope we saw earlier. 10-8 says they had evidence, but it was used for a nice stew. At least they got the eyes right in the jackalope trail cam photo. Well, that's good. Tom says I'm a rabbit expert as well, and they don't have horns. Okay, clear that up. That's good. Paul, what does he say? That the hoof looks like a ungulate would have, like a deer or an elk. But is that a hoof, or is that the second paw? Okay, now look at this right here. Okay, see that? I think that right there is his other arm extended out right there. And this is the top of his first arm, which goes like that and goes like this. And I believe this is his other paw or his other whatever coming from this arm up here. I may be mistaken, but I think that's what that is, rather than a hoof. But I could be wrong. I'm certainly no forensic expert. Let's see here. You Scared Jody says, dude, no bear has a long tail. Are you guys kidding me? Oh, he does have a tail down there, doesn't he? Look at that. It's definitely something. We see a little blood here where he got shot. But yeah, my guess would be some sort of animal with mange or something that maybe looks a little, and it could be a hybrid of something, right? It could have been, I was saying a wolf and a hyena. I don't do those things, but those things actually be able to, Paul, would those things be able to reproduce? I mean, they probably could, couldn't they? But how do you get a hyena in Virginia though? Right. So I don't know. Is this the Wisconsin dog man? Did he travel down south to southeast to Virginia? Many questions are remain to be unanswered here, I'm sure. But a wolf could be that big, right? That's awfully big for a wolf, though, too, isn't it? Maybe not. More than likely an image from an African safari where they lied about the source. That's incredibly possible, too. Ask the Tiger King. Government generic lab. Now we're getting into it. Yeah, what is that yellow goo on that dude's pants? Do we really want to know? I don't think we want to know. I don't want to know. No, wolves are bigger. No, are you saying wolves are bigger than this, or they're bigger than the hyena? I know they're bigger than a hyena, but you think a wolf is bigger than this thing? That's a big head on that thing. Yes. Okay. Let's see. You Scared Jody says Cynofolly dogmen have hands, not front paws. Okay. So I'm guessing You Scared Jody is going to be our resident cryptozoologist and give us information about weird stuff that we're going to be seeing on the show, because I am obsessed with looking at creepy, weird photos of things that I don't really think exist, but might. Hyenas aren't canine, so you couldn't cross them with wolves. What does Paul say? Paul says the mouth looks more like a bear than a wolf. I agree. So could that be a manged out bear? That's interesting. Maybe a big dog like a Newfoundland? That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Wow. Well, that gives you food for thought. Although, hopefully not literally food. I would hope to, I don't want to think this guy like barbecued this and ate this thing. But there you have it. There's quite, see, look at the conversation this stuff stirs. The ears are wrong for a bear. So we just don't know, do we? All right, so let's move on to more giant things, but let's look at giant real things that can eat us, because I think that's an important part of our life, where we choose to live and what may be the consequences for going on a walk in the wrong area. Geek Avenger says grilled cryptid. Mark chimes in. It's John Mellon's father. Again, the ears are the telltale sign. They're wrong for a bear. Auntie Annie is just going to go all in, say saber-toothed tiger. So, well, you know, they discovered the coelacanth, right? Which was the fish that they thought was extinct for millions of years, and then they caught one. So, you know, I'm guessing we may have seen a saber-toothed tiger before now, but who knows? Maybe. They're like Bigfoot. They hang out together and they hide. They're hard to find. Okay, now take a look at this thing. Oh, gosh, that's just a small picture. That kind of ticks me off. I thought it was bigger. Well, that's all right. It's going to be a bit blurry, but you'll get the idea. This really has become Art Bell's show, hasn't it? Okay, do you know who this is? This is, this is Gustave. Now, Gustave is this roughly 20-foot crocodile that lives in Burundi, Africa, and allegedly has killed 300 people. Now, we think the kill number, when I say we, I mean other people that I read about, think that the kill number is probably exaggerated, but they do think that he's a man-eater. He is a verified man-eater, and apparently he's dead now. He died a couple of years ago, so that's kind of the sad news about all this. But this is a 20-footer, a Nile crocodile. Now, your saltwater crocodile can get up to 25 feet in length, which is freaking huge. I mean, talk about dinosaurs, right? But this guy had bullet holes in him, spear holes in him, seemed to be kind of this unkillable force in this area, and took out quite a few people in the process. I would think after he killed a couple people, you'd be smart enough not to go in the water, but apparently that was not the case. And I don't know, maybe he went up on land and hunted. I don't know. But the thing about crocodiles, if you look up animals that will eat you, they're right at the top of the list. So, oh, look at this. Collector Express says, I just Googled mange-infected bears, and they do look like the previous picture. Could be onto something right there. Usually there is Paul will tell you, usually there's a scientific explanation for a lot of things. What does he say here? Saltwater crocs are endemic to Australia only, as far as I know. But this is, okay. Yes. I apologize. I conflated those two things. I conflated Nile crocodile with saltwater crocodile. But I was just making the point, which we're going to get to in a minute, that the saltwaters allegedly can get up to 25 feet long. I'll say allegedly because I'm no expert, and I only know what I've read. And what I've read may not be entirely true all the time, but it sure makes for a good story. But they're saying this Nile crocodile was a 20-footer. 25, 3 tons of them. That's from Jaws. So anyway, but poor Gustave is no longer with us. I don't know if he died of old age or if he was killed. My guess is he was probably killed, especially if he was continuing to eat people. They probably got tired of it. But he was around for a long, long time. So there you go. This is the most legendary man-killing croc of all time, is Gustave, and he's no longer with us. So he will not be eating any more innocent people. Now, take a look at this photo. This, I believe this is also in Africa. So this is a Nile crocodile. It would have to be if it's in Africa, because as Paul pointed out, you're not going to have saltwater crocodiles in the Nile. But look at this monster. I mean, I don't know how long this thing is, but judging by these, you're guessing these people probably aren't 6 foot people. They're probably shorter. But if you take, I don't know, that's got to be at least 18 feet, right? And look at the jaws on that thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that could eat you and have room for, your friends. Okay, thank you, Paul, for that information. They do grow slowly and they can live for hundreds of years, much like our friends, the turtle, right? So it's like, if it doesn't get killed, these crocs could get pretty freaking big. So these things have got to be old and to get that big. That's the same thing with sharks, though, right? Although I've seen now that they put kind of age limits on sharks. So yeah, they live to be X. It used to be, we don't know how long they live. These are freaking awesome. And the reason I'm a reptile guy, I love dinosaurs. Okay. Now I am a dinosaur skeptic to a certain degree. I'm not saying I do agree that they existed. I'm not saying they didn't. I am skeptical when I see someone find a bone fragment and they create an entire new dinosaur out of a bone fragment. I'd like to see at least 50% of a fossil remain before I'll say, okay, yeah, that's what it looks like. And I agree that you found something that we haven't already found before, which I think is reasonable. But anyway, these are like freaking dinosaurs for real. Can you imagine? I mean, we say, you joke about something being 10 foot long, but if you actually saw a 10-foot gator or a shark, I mean, it's freaking huge. And then you think something that's 20 feet long? Judas Priest. Paul says, I read a story about a pastor in Africa baptizing people and a croc came up and smoked him. I think it was in Lake Victoria. I'm telling you, if you're in Africa, I'm not thinking I would go into a lake to do baptism services. thinking I probably wouldn't do that. I might find a better, smarter place to do that at. Yeah, Komodos are about, they get in the 8 to 10 foot range, I think. But they're nasty because they have that bacteria in their mouth. They are nasty. Okay, what's this? Supposedly a saltwater croc killed an Australian prime minister floating around in an inner tube. You know, it's like, why would you want to live in Australia? Everything that lives there can kill you. I've been to Australia, though, and it's beautiful. I loved it. In fact, Shelley and I, when we went and visited, this was 93, 94. We went there for a convention. And we just loved it. We were it was just really, I mean, there's rainforest, there's desert, there's civilization, there's great white sharks eating people, there's crocodiles, there's giant bugs. Okay, I'm not big on the bugs, but it was really beautiful. And but there's a lot of poisonous, dangerous things that will eat you there. All right, so here's a picture. Now this is when we get into my favorite territory. Here's a picture of supposedly the biggest crocodile ever captured. Now this dude was 8 meters, 8.7. Anyway, about 25 and a half feet long. Are you kidding me? Now this guy here is only 5'8", so you got to take that kind of, but look at the size of that thing. And this was 1958, I think. And this was caught in, where are my notes? This is in Australia someplace. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? Look at the size of that thing. And I'm going to assume that the photograph they didn't jack around with the photograph, which they clearly could have. But still, this thing apparently was recorded at 25 feet long. Judas Priest. Now, the biggest one in captivity is in Australia is almost 18 feet, 17 feet, something or other. And I'm pretty sure that Shelley and I saw that one at the Sydney Zoo because they had a monster croc in there in this big pit. And this was back in 93 again, or 94 when we were there. And it was, I remember they saying it was like an 18-footer or something. It's freaking huge. And it would pale in comparison to the size of this thing. I don't even know how would you kill that? I mean, this has got to be like, you know, their skin has got to be like metal. You know, it's like, how do you kill that thing? But anyway, there it is. This stuff, it just fascinates me. It's just incredible. I like big monsters. I don't want to get eaten by them, so I don't want to get too close. But I do find this stuff just fascinating. Randy Howell is like, throw that bad boy on the Barbie. You could feed a small nation with that thing. Shelley, we've had gator fritters before, haven't we?
Yep.
You ever eaten anything this big?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Now we've got some help. Paul Taylor is a biologist, so he is now our resident chat biologist. He's filling us in on forums, and he doesn't hate me because I'm not an evolutionist. So I don't think he does.
So he's not what we call a pretentious prick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we already discussed that.
Okay,
so,
good.
Anyway, so this is
I'm just
get you caught up. Get you caught up.
Okay.
This is the largest crocodile ever captured, 25-footer. Wow. And this
some girth.
This guy back here is 5'8".
Some serious.
I don't know how he wrestled that thing on and caught it, but that's pretty impressive. So anyway, we're looking at things that can eat you.
Oh, cool.
Now let's take a look at this.
Sorry, I am pretty.
That's our Empire Comics
hours.
Logo hat.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
That was a lot.
Now our viewership's going to go up because you showed back up.
Right.
Okay, now this is a bull shark, and this is the creepiest picture of a bull shark I could find. Maybe I should show the audience.
No.
Now, according to shark people,
not people who are sharks.
No, but shark people that would study this.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure that was clear.
of course, the great white gets all the bad press for eating
Right.
people, but it's really tiger sharks and bull sharks that are more problematic than great
Well,
whites.
that's just not fair.
No. And so now here's the interesting thing.
Yeah. Gotta find it.
I got to find my info. These get to be between, now when I looked it up, they said between 10, the biggest they get between 10 feet and 11.5 feet. Although the largest one ever captured was only 10 feet. So I don't know where they're getting this 11.5, but.
Oh, what? Hi, Mike.
Well, that's
and
right.
Tater.
I actually have that. I could go.
I know. They're done in
It's a tiger shark.
A what?
Yeah, there it is.
So what?
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know where that 11.5 foot comes from, but I'm willing to accept it because I like big monstrous things. But here's the thing. These things get to, on the large size, will get to be about 500 to 700 pounds.
Ooh.
The bull shark will. The biggest one they ever caught.
Yep.
The man eater, 10 foot, 1,000 freaking pounds.
Oh, there's.
And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Aaron,
Watch
can you
out,
show me
boys.
what that looks like?
Chew you up.
Heck yeah, I can show you what it looks like because I have a picture of it.
She's a man eater.
She's 1,000 pounds. She's a man eater, all right.
Oh my gosh, I'm tired.
Hang in there. We're almost done.
I'm hanging.
I saved stuff especially for
smile.
you. Okay, so there you have this. That, I guess, is the 1,000-pound, 10-foot bull shark that this dude caught. So that's the biggest one.
Wow.
Ever actually reeled in.
But yeah, I like this. Doesn't matter how big they are. If they make you bleed, you're done.
Yep, that's right. All you have to do is open up an artery and you're finished. Yep. Bull sharks, fresh and saltwater swimmers. He is correct. Creative Faith, thank you for.
Wow.
Ashley says Colin loves sharks.
Yay, Colin.
Jaws was based off a bull shark attack. Are you sure about that, Colin? I know it was based off the New Jersey attacks in 1919, but was that a bull shark? I'll take Colin's word for it because I haven't checked on it. But he's a bit of a Bigfoot simp, so I don't know how much I can trust Colin. He loves these Bigfoots. He's telling me he's a real. He did. He called out a few of these videos as fake. So
love it.
Saw it eat a rocking chair once. Yeah, that's another Jaws line, of course. Let me tell you something, angry gamer. You got city hands. You've been counting money your whole life. Okay, anyway.
I don't
so,
today.
So anyway, there's your bull shark. That will eat you. And you can be swimming at Tampa. We used to live in Tampa. You could have gone out swimming and get eaten by a bull shark.
Ooh, thanks.
So you don't want to do that.
No.
Don't
do it.
Marcus Killigrew.
So pretty.
Oh.
Yep. Colin's getting all the votes.
Yep. Colin is
he's
right.
Just a cutie patootie.
He's getting it right.
Yeah.
Paul Taylor says, I thought Peter eventually got grabbed by a shark that spit him out because it didn't like the taste of his wetsuit and swam away, never to be seen again. If it's not true, it should be, because that's a good story.
Oh, yeah. Colin studies.
When it comes to sharks, he knows a lot. He checks out the shark books from the library. Good for him.
Nice.
I see, Colin, I'm sort of like you when I was a kid. I stole the books from the library. I'm not suggesting you do that, but I'm just saying. Okay, now let's take a look at our third man-eater. These are
You're
things.
only on 3? How many?
Well, there's only 3.
Okay, guys.
And then we're going to get to your stuff. Okay, so this is interesting.
It is.
Yeah, well, Shelley thinks it's cute until it eats you. Okay, this.
It's a little sad face.
This is, where is he? This is a sloth bear.
Oh, can
now
I outrun him?
Maybe, but here's the thing on the sloth bear. This particular one is a sloth bear of, well, actually the one we're talking about, this isn't the particular one.
Oh, okay.
But the sloth bear
one is
of
Buddy.
The sloth bear of Mysore or Mysore, M-Y-S-O-R-E.
Oh, Mysore too.
Now, here's the thing. Apparently, these bears are in India.
Okay.
And these bears, now get a load of this. If these bears are responsible for mauling one person a week in India. That's a pretty high.
It's a Fauci bear.
That's a
population control.
You're going to get me flagged. Okay, so one person in India every week is getting mauled by one of these bears.
You think they'd catch on?
Walking in the woods.
I was just saying, you think they'd catch on at some point.
What are you doing? But these are not known man-eaters. They're just maulers. So they were.
So it's like instead of running, they instinctively fight to the death because they can't outrun like tigers. And
is that what's here?
Yeah.
See, now you scared Jody. He's coming. He's got like a lot of weird, creepy cryptozoology cryptozoologist kind of
Smart.
information. So he's kind of our resident chat cryptozoologist.
Nice.
Sloth bears are really
That's
dangerous.
good.
They share an
What are you
environment
eating?
with tigers, and thus
Baby.
instead of running, they instinctively fight
What
to
you
the
got?
death.
What you got?
That makes a lot of sense.
Come here.
So I would stay away from these things, right?
Oh,
But
you got
apparently
them.
one person every week in India decides not to stay away from these
That's
things.
the people that lose a bet.
Okay, but if we get back to the sloth bear of Mysore or Mysore, however you pronounce it, Missouri, this particular
Me
bear,
sorry, I can't say it.
I can't say it. This particular bear, not this particular bear, but the one I'm describing, attacked 36 people and killed 12 of them, apparently ate some of them. So he went off the grid and became a man-eater.
Da, 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 da.
They eventually killed him because, like our friend Gustave, the giant croc who allegedly killed over 300 people, eventually people get tired of getting eaten and they're thinking, let's kill this thing so we don't have to get eaten by it anymore. So
Nice.
if you're in India,
Beware.
beware of the sloth bear.
Don't be the one.
Don't be the one that week. Right. So it's like there's like this quota. If you read in the paper, somebody got killed this week, you go, okay, we're safe until Sunday. We can walk in
Well,
the
you
woods.
just have to, you don't have to win the race. You just have to beat one person.
All right, now Hyper Potato is going to get gross. As he tears you open, he screams with regret that he hopes Ranger Smith won't be mad. My gosh, I think that, wah, wah, wah.
That's
Yeah, okay.
amazing.
You have to get this. You have to get by Shelley's a problem, Colin. You'd like to
Mm.
spend an anaconda for the next things that could eat
Don't-
you. I almost
don't do snakes.
put
don't.
one on here, but I knew Shelley would freak out.
Mm.
And if I had a big snake on
And
her.
furry spiders.
They don't
that's-
eat you
that's-
though. Furry
that's
spiders,
done for
they
me,
eat
though.
birds. Some of them do.
Well, you get one like on Gilligan's Island and it
All
could
right.
eat you.
So this show's actually gone on a lot longer than normally. But boy, when you start talking about weird things, I could go on all
Oh,
day.
you go on and on.
All right, but let's talk about things that aren't necessarily as weird because Shelley has rejoined us.
Speaking
And we're
of
going to
weird.
do her favorite thing, which we like to call precious
Oh,
moments
that's my favorite.
from yesteryear.
Okay, let's do it.
And she'll like this one.
Okay, good.
Old Tom. Aye, aye. Real old Tom. Aye. Dead Tom. Aye, aye. Clovis Morgan. Huh?
I love it.
The Muppets are back, baby. The Muppets are
Oh,
back.
we love them.
That was
Oh.
old, that was old Tom, really old Tom,
Tom,
and of course
Dead Tom. And then Clueless
And
Morgan.
Morgan, who we
Who I'll
love.
never forget.
That's right. Snake Oiler says Indians are not very filling because they're vegetarians. So I guess maybe.
Well, you eat them and a half hour later,
Yeah, but
hungry
here's
again.
the thing. Hippos do kill a lot of people every year, but they're not scary looking. They look like friendly. Like you want to go pet them until they rip your arm off. So that's why I
Yeah.
wouldn't like feature them on the show because they're not scary looking. They look fun. Although that sloth bear didn't really look all that scary either.
Yeah, no, you see his nails. Seriously,
yeah.
need a pedicure.
Ashley, I love this.
Yes,
movie.
it's
We
one
do.
of our favorites.
Yep.
We watch it even without the kids.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
pretty sad. Of course, Paul, the biologist, identifying Sam the American Eagle
Yes,
in the Muppet movies. So
love it. I love it.
Hyper Potato says the Lord cursed the serpent. I have no use for them. I'm not a big snake guy either,
Yes,
but
brother.
anything that's big and scary looking, I'll take a look at though, as long as I'm
Yeah.
not, like I said, too close to it.
Not me.
Oh, now
But
see,
they-
look at that. It's a good thing Aaron doesn't got a big snake then. See, you befriend people, you reach out to them,
I
you
know.
welcome them to the show,
And
and then you get that.
it is a rite of passage, though, on the show.
Yes.
You must earn a cannonball. To
And we-
really.
If we do have
experience
new
everything.
people here
Sorry.
that are putting through this torture, yeah, we apologize. But secondly, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe button to this channel, it greatly helps us to continue to bring you crap like you're watching right now.
It's not crap. It's our stuff. That's what
This
I'm
is
saying
true.
downstairs.
Don't mess with a hippo.
Well, man.
You don't. They got them big. I saw a video where these people, they had hippos like at a zoo, not a zoo, but like a wildlife
Mhm.
thingy, whatever.
Mhm.
And they like would give them. They would come up and they'd open their mouths like this, right, with this big old,
Mhm.
fang, not fangs, but what do you call it? Tusks?
Or whatever. Yeah.
And they just stuff just like a ton of watermelons in their mouth. They go and they'd be shooting out all over the place. It's a great
That would
video,
be fun.
unless your arm was in there. Ashley is you've had everyone you get it's deserved.
That's right. You earn
Um,
them. We just give them away.
Paul, look at Paul is so well. I love that Paul's on our show now.
Oh,
He has so much
yeah.
information. Crocs go after baby hippos, so hippos don't like them at all.
Oh.
That again makes perfect sense. But you know what else makes perfect sense?
Wait, go back.
Oh wait, what did I miss?
I've heard 2 jellyfish.
I've earned 2 Shelley jellyfish.
Oh, you get to that point.
Your
family.
That's right. If you get one of these, you know
In
you've
trouble.
made it. So
Yep.
okay.
All right. What you got?
We all know that Shelley is super intelligent. She's not a biologist, but she is a math teacher and teaches physics as well, some high-end stuff. And so she often likes to act like she has greater knowledge than the rest of us. So we like to test that on the
Take it
show
back.
to actually find out exactly how much Shelley does know. And Colin, this will be a game you can play as well. We'll see just how much Colin knows.
I didn't know
too.
Colin was still watching. I said that backwards.
Did you say bad?
Sorry,
I wasn't
Ash.
even paying attention.
Sorry.
It's always her.
It's always
her.
me.
I don't do that kind of stuff.
No.
Okay. So anyway, here it is right here. Now, the reason I bring this up is because we have, when I say we, I mean me, David Williams, Kelsey Shannon, also known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch, goes by either. We have a new show. And as of right now, it's on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. And it's called Graybeard's Studio. And what we do is, gosh darn it.
Why he does this? Oh, you do it even just talking.
I what can I say?
I don't know. Burping.
That's
apparently.
pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do this show called Graybeard's Studio, and it's a draw stream, but it's a conversation about pop culture and different things while we're drawing. And you guys pick the topic or the category that we're going to draw from. This week, it's going to be Robert E. Howard versus Edgar Rice Burroughs. There'll be a poll on my Twitter page. It'll be up for 2 days. You guys can go in there and vote, whatever universe you'd like to see us draw from. And then we will entertain you with some pretty darn good drawings, I have to admit. It's a high level draw stream. So you want to check that out if you have your afternoons available. If you don't, you can check it out later on reruns. Let me give you a little preview of what the intro looks like.
Reruns?
Yeah, reruns on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I think you call that reruns, right?
I don't know.
If you missed the live show and you go watch it later, it's a rerun. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So here's what the intro looks like. Shelley hasn't seen it. I was going to
I
show her
haven't either.
last week, but I hadn't downloaded it. I have it downloaded. Let's share it here.
You're old. Groaning like a geezer.
So there you go. There's
I
a
like
cute
it.
little opening for Graybeard Studio. Please check it out Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a SpongeBob song. Okay, so let's find out what Shelley knows. Now, I think we did this category a long
judge
time
me.
ago with Saturday morning cartoon stuff, but what the heck? We'll do it again.
Okay.
I'm going to start her off slow. Oh, and the reason I brought this up was because we just drew from the Hanna-Barbera universe
Right.
of heroes last week on Graybeard Studio. That was the whole point of this. And it made me think, well, does Shelley really know these characters? Let's find out.
Okay.
Here's her number one. Feel free to play along in the chat because Shelley cheats, and she doesn't have a problem with cheating, quite frankly. So here's number one. I think you'll get this one though. Who are these guys?
Does the Herculoids or something?
Yes. Look at that.
Woo!
Now you should know that because I actually
These two.
that's Gleep and
Glop.
Gloop, I think.
Gloop, clop.
So anyway, yeah, I drew these for DC. I would hope that, maybe you saw them on the drawing table at some point. So that's an easy starter.
Okay.
It's Hercules. Paul Taylor's got it, the
Yep.
biologist. our resident biologist. He knows those are the Herculoids. Okay. How about this? That's the wrong one.
The wrong one.
I'm being a boomer. Hang on.
Um,
Shelley gets me all flustered. I feel like she's critiquing the show all the time. Okay, who is this guy?
No clue.
Big F on his chest. Man-made
Looks like a
monster.
Frankenstein.
Okay, there's a little bit more to it. Frankenstein.
Monster. Frankenstein's robot. Frankenstein's.
I really thought you'd get this one.
Why?
I don't know. It's Frankenstein.
Oh.
Frankenstein Jr. is what we were looking
Dang.
for, Shelley. We were looking for
At
Frankenstein
half.
Jr.
Frankenstein.
Well, with a little bit of help. Okay, you'll get this one,
Okay.
surely. Don't call me Shirley, and don't wait till the image comes
Waiting.
up. All right.
Space Ghost.
There you go. That was an easy one. So now
Yep.
you're 2 for 3. That's not bad. Frankenstein Jr., his partner is Buzz Conroy, boy scientist.
Boy, I wish I
But
knew
see,
that.
well, now you do.
I do.
So if we do this again in a year, you should remember. Okay.
Okay.
Now this one you may not know, but if you can put 2 and 2 together, you might be able to put together the name.
Hawkman or something.
You're close. Be a
Hawk,
little bit more general.
Hawk person.
Mm.
Birdman.
Yes, it's Birdman. Did you cheat?
No.
Okay, so I'll.
See, there's nothing on there. It says Birdman.
Okay, well they're a little bit delayed, so they're
Oh,
okay. So I'll give that to you.
thank you.
So she's got what do you got? Herculoids and
3.
Birdman and Space Ghost. You missed Frankenstein Jr.
Yeah.
So you're 3 for 4. That's not bad.
Thank you.
Okay, now
Oh,
I know you know who this is.
yes.
This isn't part of.
Some
I mean, it's a
caveman.
Hanna-Barbera caveman.
Um,
Caveman. Yes, it's a Hanna-Barbera character, but this came in the 70s, so it actually might have been a show you watched as a kid.
Yeah.
A caveman is part of the name, but kind of assigned it now sort of a superhero.
Caveman.
It's not Mr. Caveman, but it's
Caveman Junior.
might.
No.
Well, let's say that.
What about Captain Caveman?
Yes,
Thanks, Christina.
cheater.
Hey, at least I fess up.
Christina gets credit for that.
Unga Bunga.
Although Anti-Entity was on it too.
Nice.
Randy Howell abbreviated.
How about Captain Kelsey?
Snake Oiler. Everybody was on this.
Nice.
Shelley, he says Shelley was one of the Teen Angels.
Teen Angel. Is that from
Okay.
Greece?
I
Okay.
don't know. Was the Teen Angels, were those the kids that he hung around with? Was the Teen Angels? Captain Caveman? I think you're right. I'd have to go back. Okay, now this one you get this.
My brother dressed up as this for Halloween once.
Okay, now, Shelley, not only do you have to tell us the name of this character, go ahead.
Hong Kong Fui.
Now, what did Josh call him when he was little?
Hong Boyan.
Kong Boyan.
Hong Boyan.
Yeah, very close. But so there you go.
That's
Hong Kong Fui, #1 super guy. Hong Kong
Mhm,
Fui,
mhm.
quicker
Dun, 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 dun.
than the human eye.
Yep.
Okay, so you're doing okay.
I'm doing
You
all
got a
right.
couple
I'm
of-
surprised because I am maxed out. Like
You've
I
got
can't clean anymore. I can't
okay,
do
but
it.
there's a couple more, and these aren't as
Okay.
easy. Okay. All right. Now this.
Something Dino Dog
Well,
or something Dino Dog or
boy,
something.
I'm surprised you got that much. This is kind of a Scooby-Doo spinoff, believe it or not.
Falcon and the
It's the color. Give me the color.
Blue Falcon.
Blue Falcon and
Dino
your-
Dog.
Dino.
Might.
No,
Jimmy.
if he's not.
Dynamite.
What would you call a dog that wasn't necessarily a purebred or something, or maybe
Mutt.
Yes,
Dino Mutt.
there it is.
Hey, that's pretty good. I
Is it? Yeah, it's
need Fireball
Dynamite.
after that.
It's Dynamite, right? Someone's
Dino Mutt.
Angry Gamer's trying to push Dog Wonder, but that's not correct. It is
Oh.
Dino Mutt.
Don't get angry.
Okay,
Oh, my back. Okay.
hang in there.
Woo,
All right.
Too much cleaning.
Now I just drew this character
That looks really familiar.
on the Graybeard Studio
Yeah.
show.
And it was
He's a caveman. He's kind of like Thor, but he's a caveman. He has
He's
a
like-
club instead of a hammer. But
it was on. I read it on social media because somebody
it's so lame. They called him the Mighty.
dork. No, am I close? Am I close?
It's not even close.
My tour.
The mighty
Thank you, Citizen Ronan. Love ya.
Mytor.
See, I was thinking Thundar as well, but that's not
No.
Thundar the Barbarian because I
That
would
is-
know that one because I watched that show. It's my favorite show.
But if your character's name is Mytor, would you say the mighty Mytor, or would you say,
Mhm.
maybe you would, I guess, for Saturday morning cartoon?
Yeah.
You think you might want to go the incredible Mytor or the awesome Mytor?
Well, I like
the
things
mighty
that-
Mytor.
Mighty,
They
like
kind of
the-
go together like
yeah.
that. Okay, kind of a rhythmic thing.
I don't know. It's just a thing.
All right, here's the last one. Now,
Okay.
come on, I know you watched this as a kid.
Ooh. Justice Friends or something like that.
Okay, what is that? They look
Justice League.
pretty happy.
The Happy Justice Gang.
No. If someone's close to you, they're a,
Oh, it's something Friends.
and if they have powers, they would be your.
Super Friends.
Yes, indeed. There you go. I can't really give you that. I'm really disappointed you didn't know that.
I am lucky I'm upright at this moment.
Just
So-
those are excuses.
I gotta tell you, we got a fake treat and we thought it was really pretty. It was flocked. I gotta tell you, we'll be vacuuming up glitter
Yeah, it did kind of
for
come
years.
unflocked.
Oh my
didn't it?
gosh.
All right, now John Smith provided this for me because we talked about this and we could
Oh.
not remember the name of the show. And I used to watch it when I was a kid and I loved it. This is
Yeah.
not Hanna-Barbera, but this is the Mighty Heroes. Now you have
Oh.
Diaper Man.
No.
So he's this baby that drinks his formula and gets superpowers.
No.
And he ties his little blanket around him. So he's Diaper
no
Man.
capes.
And then you've got Strong Man. That's not,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
strong.
But what's the H for?
I don't know. I think Hero.
That's what I was thinking.
It's just really bizarre. Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
Strong Man. This guy is Birdman. We've seen this. No, this guy
Yeah.
here.
Hi, Darsh.
I think that's Birdman. I can't even read the names. And then there's like a guy's a tornado and another guy's Rope Man. This guy's Rope Man right here.
Rope dude.
Yeah, and I thought this was the greatest thing in the world. Now just reading the names out loud, I'm thinking this is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But as a kid, loved
Eat it
it. So
Eat it up.
I don't know if you guys remember the Mighty Heroes or not, but that's Edna
Nope.
says no
No
capes.
capes.
No capes.
That's what I said.
No, wait a
too.
minute.
Edna mode.
Paul
No
wants
capes.
to know, did you ever watch Rocket Robin Hood?
No.
It was made by Krantz Animation that did the Spider-Man cartoon.
Paul. He's going to be talking about you, Paul, like for days now, just so you know.
Rocket Robin Hood. I'm going to have to look that up because I don't recall that.
Sequential Treasures got it. Diaper Man.
String Man,
That is
Cuckoo Man, String Man and Rope Man. Isn't that repetitive?
yeah. Well, one of them's maybe stronger. One of them's, I don't know.
What would you use the string guy for? Like like tie a package
Tiny
together?
places that
Okay.
Rope Man can't get in.
Okay. All right.
See? I don't know.
And then Tornado Man. Okay.
Well, could
Thank
just
you,
make
Sequential
tornado-
Treasures.
Yeah.
I should have left it to know that James would know the answer to this.
Somebody would.
Uh,
Not us.
He is a pop culture encyclopedia. Okay, you guys, we have done a lot today, mostly without Shelley.
I'm
but
sorry.
She
I
did
didn't
make
realize we were going to clean so long.
she did make an appearance though, and she is wearing an Empire Comics logo hat, which are available right now, and they do ship, and they fit right into these wonderful boxes I bought, so they don't get smooshed.
Nice.
And those start going out. Well, not tomorrow because tomorrow's Martin Luther King Jr.'s official birthday.
Day.
Because if you have a federal holiday and it happens on the weekend, no, it has to
gotta
be.
be
You have
Monday.
to get a
Now,
day off during the week.
What I
so-
thought when we were looking at the hats, I thought they were like solid, but there's Velcro back here. So if you have a big old head,
Yeah,
Don't
they do
worry.
adjust.
Yeah.
But they are firm up here, as I pointed out, because it has to support this sewn on stitched patch. So they're pretty cool.
yeah.
And we do have these, which actually are practical in keeping your head warm during those winter
Cool.
months.
Warm.
That's right.
Yeah.
There it
There
is.
you have it.
So anyway, I
Oh.
want to thank everybody for the super chats we got, for joining us. We got several backers on the campaign during the show. Thank you guys so much for that. Let me also remind you again, t-shirts are done at the end of this month. So you got about 16 days to get in and order your t-shirts so I can send them to the printer. We can all wear our bloody werewolf Keown shirts. Please check out the campaign for the books and everything else on there. The link is in the description
And the
of
art
this
contest is
video.
on there.
The art contest, don't forget about that. That's up on the page now. And that goes through the end of February. So you do have time to really formulate and do something really, really cool. The winner gets 250 smackers
Oh yeah.
and published. So pretty good deal. We're working on the second chance reprint campaign of Wraith of God graphic novel, which will have a brand new cover as soon as I finish it. And that'll be a new thing as well.
Wow.
There's still Garbage Man trade paperbacks available.
Mhm.
Nana
Yep,
is
we
bagging
just
and boarding
signed
them right
some.
now. I just
Yep.
signed a bunch of them. So there's still those available. We have about 75, I think, left of those. And I haven't got a count on Power Cube, but I might open those up. I may have a few more of those than I thought I did as well. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us. Despite the power of Ethan Van Sciver, you guys stuck with us
We
through
appreciate
this
you.
show. We really appreciate it. And we just hope that the people that weren't able to join us today will watch us in reruns. They're reruns.
On demand.
On
That's what you
demand.
call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch it on demand
On
because you
demand.
demand it. You get to watch it.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Watch your playoff football, your Blazer basketball if you're a Portland fan.
Oh.
And like, subscribe, do all those fun things. Remember Comic Art Convo coming up the last Saturday of every month. But this month we're talking about Star Trek with Sequential Treasures.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm very excited because I get pick my favorite Star Trek
Nice.
episodes and the
Nice.
one I like the least. So it'll be good times had by all. So
Yeah.
we will see you throughout the week and hopefully next week right here in this time slot while Ethan once again tries to hijack my show. So anyway, see you guys and thanks for joining us and we will
Bye,
talk
guys.
soon.